It is I, Zimro. Welcome to a new video. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to set up an automatic farm. For this automatic farm, you're going to need S+ structures on your server or your single player. Once you have everything set up, at the end of the farm, you should have something like this going on. You'll have enough berries, you'll have enough veggies that you won't have to go out and farm them yourself. So, the first step is actually setting up a little poop collector. So with this, we're going to use the item collector. In order to get the item collector, you must be level 20. You're going to require 125 cementing paste, 75 hide, and 250 metal ingots. Now, the item collector does need to be powered. It can be either powered by a tech generator or propellant. Since we do not have a tech generator currently, we're going to be using propellant. In order to make propellant, you will need 1 cactus sap, 1 oil, and 1 sulfur. It's made in the mortar and pestle. Now, once you have all this, go ahead and grab your item collector. You're just going to plop it down. This thing does have a pretty big range, as you can see by the little blue canopy. So all our dinos inside this little blue canopy, it will begin collecting all of the items from it. Now what we want to do is we're going to do collection options. We're going to stop it from collecting everything except for poop. So this will be reserved just for poop only, because it does overfill with poop. We're going to stick some propellant in there. And we're going to click activate. There we go. Okay, now that you have that set up, it's going to be collecting poop for you automatically. What it's going to do is going to take this poop and it's actually going to redistribute it into your dung beetles. So we have a little cage set up for our dung beetles right here. All they're doing is set to wandering. And they're going to automatically generate a lot of fertilizer for us. Now, instead of us having to manually grab that fertilizer and redistribute it into our crops, what we want to do is set up an automatic farmer. For the automatic farmer, you will need to be level 40. It will require 250 cementing paste, 100 hide, 100 metal ingots, and 100 pelt. Automatic farmer does require fuel as well. It'll either be a tech generator or Callian soup. So we're going to set him up here. Right there. We're going to give him the Callian soup, and we're going to activate him. If you notice there, he already took the fertilizer and sent it over to our crops, which are over there. An optional thing you can do as well, this is not required for the automatic farm, is an animal tenderer. What that'll do is when you insert the kibble for the animal tenderer and you activate it, it'll actually collect all of the oil that the dung beetles produce. Now, once you build your gardener, which is not that complicated, it's level 40 as well, same as the farmer. Same setup as a farmer: 250 cementing paste, 100 hide, 100 metal ingots, and 100 pelt. Once you have that and you have the gardener, you're going to need to give the gardener beer in order for it to function. To produce beer, you'll have to have a beer barrel. You'll have to have irrigation running into the beer barrel. So what you need is a water source, or you can place your water in there manually. I highly recommend you actually getting a water source and inserting multiple beer barrels. The reason is it takes 6 hours, and I'm not sure if you can boost this by server settings, but it takes 6 full hours for beer to ferment. Once beer ferments, you'll get an icon like this, beer liquid. Now, in order to make this beer liquid, what you need is any berry and thatch. Once the beer liquid is created, what you're going to want to do is come over with a water jar. It can be empty or it can have water in it. It does not matter. You're going to insert it, and as you can see there, it is changing the water jar into a beer jar. You take this beer jar, we're going to place it inside of our gardener. And as you can see, it layered it up right there. It's already activated. So now our gardener is going to collect all the berries. It's going to collect all the seeds. And it's going to give us back our water jars. So you do not need to create a countless amount of water jars. Just create a few that you can cycle through. Always just pick these water jars up out of the inventory. And then throw them back into the beer barrel so they can be cycled out. Now that takes care of most of the automatic stuff. After this, we need to actually set up our crop plots. How you set up your crop plots and what you want is up to you. It's really just personal preference on what you want to farm. Originally, we wanted to farm a lot of narco berries because we were taming a lot of stuff. And then we added Primal Fear, which made the amount of narco berries we had not really that useful. So what we're going to do is we're going to just set up a simple farm. We'll take some narco berries here. And we'll probably take some rock carrot seeds. Now you're going to want all of your crops irrigated. And you're going to want to take your crop plots, place them down. For seeds, you only need a small crop plot. You don't need to make a medium one. All you need to do is insert at least one seed in there. Now this one, we're going to insert just one rock carrot. And then all we have to do is wait for everything to cycle out. And all of our guys will do the rest. So the farmer will be inserting fertilizer into these crop plots once his cycle goes through. Okay, so it took a few minutes, but afterwards, after a little bit of waiting, the fertilizer was distributed by the farmer. And now we have a full amount of fertilizer. What's going to end up happening after this is there's going to be a lot of berries coming out and a lot of seeds. And it's automatically going to be collected by the gardener. Once it's collected by the gardener will hold all your berries and seeds. It will actually give a small extension to it. I believe you can put salt in there. I'm not 100% sure. But it should last you long enough that you can actually come back and get it. Because usually like a citronelle will last like 5 minutes. Here it's at 19 hours. So it'll be plenty of time. And this is really infinitely expandable as long as you can provide enough beer for the gardeners. Now the only thing with the small amount of range is going to be the gardener. So here's the range of the gardener. This is probably the smallest one of them all. So you might end up needing like maybe just one additional gardener. But as you can see with the way I have my crops set up, I'm doing a multi-story. And you can have the irrigation above your crop and it'll still work. As you can see, this one's working perfectly fine. But if you set up this automatic farm, you and your tribe mates shouldn't ever have to manually farm stuff ever again. You'll just be able to come up to your gardener, just collect whatever you need, stick it in your fridge, and it'll last for pretty much forever. This is how we make all of our kibble. This is how we don't have to worry about any veggies, especially when you're playing with other mods like Primal Fear, which requires various amounts of different resources to create the kibbles that are included in there. But I appreciate you watching the video. If you like it, drop a like. If you want to see more content like this, just go ahead and subscribe. Thank you. Goodbye.